Hello, I'm Christina Marlette, creator of Courageous Self-Care. And what I want to share with you today is the story of the red carpet roller coaster and how I parented through it using what I've gathered and learned in Courageous Self-Care. So part one, Zoe, my daughter, is in a movie called 1 Million Followers. And a couple weeks ago, she got invited to a red carpet event in Los Angeles to celebrate the opening of this movie. So we asked her if she wanted to go. She said yes. And we bought her the tickets for the event, which was on the 25th, Friday, and got the hotel all booked. She wanted to go by herself. So yay, exciting. And Sunday, so that was Friday, Sunday night, she comes into the room and says, I guess I'm not going to the event. And we said, why? And she said, I just got a reminder and it's tomorrow, Monday. So she had misread the invitation and all of a sudden it's the next day. And this is already like 8 o'clock at night. And I said, well, do you want to go? And she said, yes, but it's too late. And I said, no, let's go home. I'll hop on a computer. We'll find a flight and I'm sure we can change the hotel. We didn't do cancellation insurance or anything on the flight. So goodbye, money. However, I'm sure we can change the hotel and find you a new flight and it will be fine. So we zipped home, all got on computers, found a flight, just 3 times the cost of the original. So, oh well. And I said to Zoe, she said, that's so much. And I said, well, it's just money. Like, how many times do you get invited to a red carpet event of a movie premiere in LA? This is it so far. So let's capitalize on it. So we got her the flight. My husband, Paul, went to the place where she's house sitting for the night so that he could take her to the airport first thing in the morning. And off she goes. So that was part one and how we recovered from that. So, yep, we thought, okay, it's just money. Let's follow the heart rather than the head. The head wants to make logical choices, but the heart says, go for it, capitalize on what promises to be an exceptional experience. So that's what we did for that. Then she went off to the airport, got her dropped off, and she flew to LA. Meanwhile, I had texted my mom and shared that we found a flight, and she said, I would love to pay for that. So amazing when you are not attached and you follow your heart. Somehow the universe just manages to fill in that vacuum. So amazing. Thank you, Mom. And that was there's the first part of the roller coaster. We had the dip and then we had the high. And then I was texting with Zoe while she was on her 45-minute Uber drive to the hotel. And I asked her how she was doing. And all of a sudden, she sent me an email that was rejecting her from something that she thought was going to be fairly easy to get into. And she was devastated. So I said, do you want to talk about it? You can call me. And she said, not till I get to the hotel. So she got to the hotel. Apparently, the Uber driver spoke almost no English whatsoever and dropped her off in the middle of the street. Like he didn't even pull over to the hotel. And then she couldn't cross the street safely. So she had to walk 3 blocks before she could get onto the side of the street of the hotel. And it was in Beverly Hills. And also, she said it was kind of sketchy. So, turmoil of emotions happening her first time traveling in a different country by herself, even though Canada and the States are not that different. Just where she was a little bit scarier than she thought it would be. So she finds her way to the hotel, calls me, and proceeds to just be at such a low for several hours. And uh, what we talked about, so I did a lot of listening and sympathizing, which as a coach, I really like to solve problems and offer solutions. But I've learned with my kids, that is not what they want. They want to be heard. And so I did a lot of that and felt so good about myself for that. I have learned, yay, making progress as a parent. And at the age that Zoe's at, she's 19. She doesn't want a parent, she wants a mentor. And so I was doing my best to provide that. Now, let's see. So during that conversation, lots of tears, and something else that came up is she said she wanted to quit with the whole acting thing. And in the past, I've always given her a pep talk and said, well, you just need to be persistent and something's coming. We just don't know when. And that's the hard part. And this time I said, well, if you want to quit, like you've said that so many times, then just quit. And she cried some more and we talked some more. And uh, over time, it was like she coached herself. It was amazing. And at a certain point, she said, my heart won't let me quit. And I said, Zoe, that is so amazing that you're going to follow that, because no matter what you pick in life, you're going to have to be persistent and there's going to be rejection. Yeah, I think it is stingier in the acting industry because there's so much of it and it can feel really personal. But you might as well love what you're doing because you have to go through the persistence and the rejection anyway. And at least there's that desire to be following your passion, right? And so, yeah, over time, she felt better. And after we hung up, she went to go get ready for her event. So then that's part two. I wasn't so attached to her doing what she has said that she wants to do. I felt like I was being more of a mentor, not offering solutions or problem solving, just listening with my heart. And wow, it was so different from how I thought it would go. So yay, amazing. Part three. Paul and I are at Oakley's volleyball game and it's just finishing up. My phone rings and it's Zoe. I'm like, uh-oh, this is the time of the event. This doesn't seem like a good thing. So I answered and she's sobbing into the phone. I can't even understand her. So I ran out of the gym, found a spot, and long story short, the event had been planned for a 21 and up venue that no one really realized, and the bouncers wouldn't let her into the red carpet event. I'm like, no, this can't be happening. What? No. And so she was really upset, and the bouncers had been so mean to her. They wouldn't even let her on the red carpet. And I said, well, is your co-star there? Maybe she can help you. No, she's not there yet. Is the director of the movie there? No, he's not there yet. And so I said, well, the only solution left, because I'm not here or I'm not there with you, is that you're just going to have to stand up for yourself. You're going to have to find somewhere deep inside of you to bring up your confidence and to not accept that you can't get in. Like you just absolutely have to go. And she said, I already told them I flew all the way from Canada. They didn't care. And I said I wouldn't drink. And they said I was lying. And it was very dramatic. And I said, okay, well, you're going to have to find someone to help you. And this is clearly what your growth edge is for this event. You are going to need to get yourself into the event using the resources that you have without me and Daddy helping you in the way that we could if we were there. So she took some breaths and stopped sobbing, and off she went. And meanwhile, I'm like, oh my gosh, what can I do? Can I fly there? No, it'll be over by the time I get there. And so I filled Paul in on what was happening. And I said, maybe we could phone the hotel and speak to the venue manager. And so we tried that, but didn't get very far with that. And I said, well, I guess we just have to trust that she is going to get in and she's going to be able to do it on her own. So a few minutes later, a text comes, she got in. Hallelujah. And we didn't hear much more about it until she phoned later at midnight to debrief us on what had transpired. So she did have a wonderful time and met some great people, made some good connections, and found out from not her mom, but from people in the industry that yes, everyone goes through rejection and it's not personal, and it just wasn't the right fit, and keep going. So she got that from not her mom, where it doesn't make as much impact, but from people who are working in the industry, and she had some good stories to heard some good stories to reinforce that. So that was the roller coaster. It was very high. It was very low. It was very high. It was very low. And the next day she came home, and because my mom had been so generous with paying for the flight, there was some extra money. And so she got to fly first class back. So that was a high. She had a great chat with a businessman next to her. And that was that. So part three, the learning from the courageous self-care part was, well, you just have to, you can't argue with the truth. And the truth of the situation is that we were not there. We were not there to help her. And so trusting that she had everything that she needed to get whatever experience she was meant to get. And we didn't need to provide it for her. So that was, and then detaching from the outcome. That was such a great lesson too. So that is the red carpet roller coaster. I hope you enjoyed it and have some takeaways for yourself for whatever resonated with you.